that of the fighter monster?
Pretty difficult. We've seen quite a bit.
Why did you become a firefighter?
Well, for one, my brother's a firefighter. I wanted to be a cowboy, but I couldn't be a cowboy, so I became a firefighter.
So next best thing, what does that being a firefighter and being a cowboy, what do they have in common?
Well, every young boy wants to be either a firefighter or a cowboy or a clown, you know, and I guess I'm just a big kid at heart.
What do you...
It tests you every time you go to one. And it's interesting, you know, you see just how far you're willing to push yourself. And I think that everybody wants to do that, no matter what they do. And this just happens to test you every day that you work. And it's funny when everybody's running out of the burning building screaming, you're running into it. You know, it's a little different.
Do you ever hesitate?
No. When I first came on, when I was a trial man, it's natural for you to be afraid. But as you progress in the job, every fire you go to, you learn something new. And then you start not hesitating, but you look at signs at the house. Windows are puffing, what color smoke is that? You know, so every what you're feeling to get around the room. And there's been times when I have gotten lost in the closet.
Is that the scary...
What? Andre, cut it out.
Andre, what are you doing back there?
Do that again, Andre. I got you.
I think it was his sign.
You're saying that there have been times when you've actually lost.
Oh, sure. I guess it happens to everybody. You get lost in the closet or a bathroom, you know, you just get turned around. And sometimes you do get scared, but in the academy they teach you to, if you start to panic, you'll just stop where you're at and count yourself to 30, and you'll calm yourself down and you'll start thinking clearly again. Because your adrenaline's going so quick, it's just, you know, when you're in a room and you can't get out, you start to get scared. But then, like I said, they teach you to count, take your time, you know, rethink where you came from, find a doorway, you know, find a sink, find a toilet, and get your way out of the room.
When I look at a fire, and the thing that catches my eye and the thing that I think is most dangerous are the flames. But from a firefighter's point of view, when you're inside the house, what's your biggest problem? What's the biggest obstacle?
Smoke. You can't see in front of you at all. When I first came out, a bunch of my friends always kidding me about, oh, you know, you work 8 days a month, and what a, you know, easy life you had. You sleep all day, eat all day, you know. Once in a while you go out to a fire. Well, I took my buddy and I put a bag over his head and he spun him around in his living room. I told him to find his way out to the front door. He's going to do it. That's what I deal with every day to go into a fire. Smoke is the most hindrance thing you come across. And the gases inside the house.
Tell me about you and your brother. Is your brother older?
Yes, he is. It's a good job. It really is.
Do you guys compete in any way? You could do the best job with your...
Sometimes when we're at a fire together, you know, because they don't allow you to run together as a family. But we have been to fires where I've been at Engine 47, Ladder 30 is where I run at. He runs here at the fire. We've gone to the same fire at, you know, and yeah, there is a little competition. And also practical jokes. There's always, you know, he'll come over and stuff toilet paper in our shoes while we're out of the run, or we'll come over here and flower in our shoes or something, you know. It's a lot of fun. It's a good job.
There's a lot of camaraderie.
Oh yeah. It's one big family, really.
What makes you guys one big family? I mean, you all come from different families, different backgrounds.
We all have to trust each other. Once you're going through your career, you're going to have to trust the guy that's next to you. And you become very close with everybody. You know, their highs and their lows, and, you know, the good moments and their bad moments. The guy next to you is willing to give up his life for yours. That's what makes it so cool.
I'll just add one question. What so far has been the most intense moment you would say?
We're at a fire on the second floor, and I walked out onto the porch. There was fire in the eaves, and the floor was made out of press board. So we took the line out there, and we hit it, came back in, we had to go back out. Well, once the press board gets wet, it deteriorates, you know, it just becomes hard. I stepped back out, and I was going down. Somebody grabbed me by the back of my tank and pulled me into the house. That was the most intense that I ever had.
Any cutaways, man?
I'm thinking this sort of scenario. Just a shot.
Maybe we can get Al to volunteer to show how we fool around.
Hi, Ma!
Why do I feel a practical joke?
No. We can't do that anymore. He's filming, you guys filming us. This
Is
what
anybody filming him, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an FBI man in there. Well,
Well, we're sure of that. You can count on that.
yes, Maggie was here this morning.
We always remember people in the neighborhood that look up to us. That's what we do.
Now, do people in your neighborhood look up to you?
I think so. It seems to me that the firemen are trusted more than the average person. If you walk in, you're like, oh, I'm really big. A lot of people work, do landscape and whatever. If you tell me a fireman, people know. Yeah.
They're nice to hear.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking earlier, we were talking about the movie Backdraft, and you said you'd actually been in a backdraft. Can you tell me what that was like?
Backdrafts happen before. Just all of a sudden, when it flares up full orange, and the fire goes down. I mean, you don't know when it's going to happen.
What is that feeling? I mean, when you saw that, what did you see coming at? Did you hit the ground, or did you see the flames coming at? What did you see?
It happened so quick. Also, when it lights up, you just kind of cover up what you can. And either step out of the area if you can, if you close the door, or usually it happens so quick that you can just continue fighting fire.
Is that the toughest thing you've encountered in your 13 years?
Oh, no. Going through the dwellings and tripping over furniture, and even the houses that are falling apart, the holes in the floors, and ceilings falling down, and all of that. You don't worry about the fire. You worry about what you don't see in the smoke.
That you worry about that more than the flames?
Oh yeah. It's more of a hazard. I don't know if you worry about it, it's more of a hazard.
You ever been lost in a house?
Not in a house, no.
In a big commercial building?
You can get turned around in a big building.
Yeah.
Usually you find a line, follow the line in or out. That's the big key. Try to stay by line. But in a big building, you could get turned around.
Yeah. Is it, are you more leery when you go into a big building or into a house? I mean, is there a different sense of fear?
Different thoughts are going through your mind. You know, you tune yourself. When you're going into a house fire, it's pretty simple. You watch for holes in the floor to feel your way through. When you go into a big building, a lot of things can happen. We work downtown for the last couple of years, and you bring different equipment in with you. Usually you're running up a flight of 2, 3, 4 flights of stairs and you get to a fire. It's different. A lot more people in the fire.
Have you ever saved anybody's life?
I don't know. We bring people out of fires, I don't know.
Have you brought people out of fires?
Yeah.
Can you tell me about when you brought somebody out of a fire?
I don't know what to tell you.
Do you remember one of those incidents?
No.
No? It's just part of the job.
Yeah. Just, usually it's a team effort. Usually, if you find somebody or somebody else finds somebody, 2, 3 people grab them, and before you know it, they're on the stretcher, or they're off the door, or they're on the rig. And, sometimes that one person just runs in. And usually it's a team effort.
What's your favorite thing about what you do? Is there something?
I like the shift, sketching. It's good as far as that's going. You have a lot of time to do other things. Things like that makes a lot of people jealous. And that's it.
But what do you say to those people who say, well, you only work 8 days a week?
Well, we're working 48 hours a week. It's straight pay. Nobody else does it.
What about the risks that are inherent in your job? Do you think about those at all?
No, you don't think about it. You know they're there and you don't think about it.
Why don't you think about them? If you thought about them, would that?
Well, I don't know. I don't take the time to think about it. I'm a busy person, but just to lay there and think about it, everyone else, I think.
Is that part of, is the risk part of the lure or the part of why you want to do what you do, why you do what you do? We're just trying to collect interesting stories.
Right. Most of it's going to get cut, I know.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever, I mean, who did what, where? Then like when we took that lady out, we both took her out, right? Both put the ladder up, you climbed it, or whatever.
No, you climbed it. We
Oh,
put
okay,
the ladder
that's
up,
right.
You
Okay,
climbed it.
that's right. I wouldn't
And then we
look
brought
at
the
that.
ladder back down. And then we see off the third floor, we brought that chick off the third floor, and then we went to the second floor.
And took the other one out the window.
And then Andre, I went in,
Yeah, right.
and then Andre had already had the lady out through the front door.
Right, he's the one got the
Yeah.
side.
Yes, they do.
And,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. Why don't you describe to me what your job is now here?
Well, now I'm the driver of the truck, so, whatever, first thing in the morning, start of the shift, you come in, and your job is you're responsible for the truck, make sure all the equipment and tools are on the rig, and it's going to function when you go to a fire. So you go through the rig every morning, completely, do all the tools and equipment. And then from there on, my job is firefighter driver. I go to a fire and do what's needed, either use the equipment as a driver or fight a fire as a firefighter.
What about when you're driving the rig? I mean, and you're trying to get there as fast as you can, but you got to go through traffic.
You got to do it safely, and I don't know. It's a rush. It's fun. Fun driving the rig. And things you couldn't do in your car, right?
That's for sure. You get in a lot of trouble. Do you get the feeling? I mean, do you ever worry about losing control of the rig as you're trying to get there to a fire?
You do. I mean, it happens to everybody sooner or later. You just, hopefully at the time it's just a little bit over the edge. You just slide a little bit. It's like in your car in the wintertime, you slide and it's a little too slippery today, we got to slow down. And that's basically the same thing. You just, it's time to slow down.
When you fight a fire, now you've seen the movie Backdraft, right? And they talk about, John knows more about this than I do because he's seen it, but at least from what I've read. They talk about the fire as almost as a living.
Yeah, in the movie they tried to make it a living creature, or portray it as stuff. Fire itself, anybody who's ever stared at a fireplace or a campfire or a candle, fire moves and it is alive, and that's what, the lure of fire. That's why people stare at fire. And so when you see like a room and you see it crawling across the ceiling or something, it's alive. It's doing things.
Does that change? Because it has that characteristic, does that change the way you think about how to fight it, how to stop it?
No, pretty much. We know you put water at the base of the fire, it goes out.
It's pretty basic,
That's
huh?
it. Yeah.
None of this Hollywood.
You try to stay away from what was super hot and go in and try to put it out.
Yeah. What did you think? What did you think of the movie?
The movie was good entertainment. I thought the fire scenes I didn't think were very factual because they can't portray smoke. But it was good entertainment. It was just a little bit Rambo maybe.
You guys aren't macho men that run in there and.
We run in. People are running out, and you're running in. There's no doubt about it. That's the way they'll get you feel and stuff. But and the movie did what it could to portray it. And everybody has their own characteristic. You're very true around a firehouse, and the movie showed that real well.
Tell me, you were saying that the smoke is what the movie they can't show. So, given the fact we can't show it, I need you to describe it because
When you can't see your hand in front of your face, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, you walk 10 feet into a house that's on fire, and you cannot see your hand in front of your face. And you can't see the front. You know what it's like to walk around your house when the light's out, and I'm walking around a stranger's house with the furniture all over every which way on your trip, and sometimes you're full of rubbish or junk, tires or whatever. you learn to feel your way through holes in the floors, and it's amazing when you clear the smoke out and you look back at what you just went through, or maybe another engine crew that advanced through a fire. You look back and go, wow, how did they do it? How did they make it through this one?
Ever encounter anything real unusual in a house?
Oh yeah, everything.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. It's like, you know, the rescue, I mean, there's so many, I don't know.
Oh, come on, there's gotta be an unusual animal or unusual...
Well, the house around the block over there, you know, recently we had a guy that was living in a house full of garbage. It was a real sad story. And just, oh, I don't know.
Let's talk about this engine company. You guys pride yourself on being the busiest one in the city?
Oh, yeah. Anytime you move over in the country, this is the busiest house in the country, yeah. And I'm just lucky. I was just sent here 5 months ago, so I really don't. I'm not like a key member of the company, but you know, yeah, the guys definitely pride that. And there's guys here that have ran here, you know, can say I ran here all the years that it was busy, or if it was a house 10 years ago on the west side, it was busy. I ran there when it was busy. And there's guys that want to run at the slowest house in the city too. I mean, there's people both ways in this job.
You seem to be sort of the station cut up.
I keep things going. I don't like to get bored.
What are some of the things you do to keep it going?
Oh, you never know when you might get hit with a bucket of water. In the summertime, I don't know.
I have to be forced to watch TV videos, huh?
Yeah, right.
Water bandit.
Yeah, or there's a lot of little tricks we have.
Why do you do that? Keep things loose?
Yeah, right. Keep things loose.
Yeah.
The time goes by. One person's looking behind his back, and you're looking behind your back, wondering when they're going to get you back. You know? And that's the way it is in firehouses all over. And that's part of it.
How would you describe the feeling in a firehouse?
It's different in any job you ever worked anywhere else. I mean, you could work with your partner and in any other job for 10 years and not know them as well as you might know them in 24 hours in the firehouse. You know, if a person's in the firehouse and they're having problems at home or anything, within 24 hours they have to talk to somebody. And usually they do. And you'd be surprised who you don't even know very well. Sometimes they're telling you, loads on big problems.
Does that closeness that you develop in here help out on when you're fighting fire?
If you're with a group of guys and you know what that person's going to do, it definitely helps. And you know what you're going to do. Yeah. You know a person within a couple of days in the firehouse. Yeah.
What if you encounter somebody you decide that you know but you don't? Have you ever encountered somebody you know and you think, I'm not real sure I want to be out on the line with that person?
Yeah, and you work around it. You wouldn't go as far, things like that. You know that. You know when you maybe listen for somebody else from another company finally come up behind you or something, and you do some more.
But you really have to trust that person.
Yeah, just like they have to trust me as a driver. And there's drivers maybe you wouldn't want to get on the rig that's driving and so forth. Or anything else, or a boss that you wouldn't care to have telling you what to do. But you know your limitations. And you got a fire, you don't take time to whatever, if that person was to fall to the floor, you would do whatever you could in that group. So. Maybe in the firehouse, you'll get away from them.
We're good. Yeah.
Okay, we're good, Bobby?
Yeah.
We have arsonists. We have arsonists that work certain areas, and there was a couple of streets right behind the engine house, Mayfield and Elmont, and they just about burned everything out of there, and then they moved on to another street. But they'll start on Gittree and Fairport across the street, and they'll just burn house after house. It just goes right down the street, vacant house after vacant house. Oh yeah, we know exactly probably where the next fire is going to be.
What about when those arsonists, are those just kind of like people who are burning for whatever reason?
Something to do, and they want to just a little excitement, burn the house next door. They might even burn the house right next door to where they.
It's going to be really frustrating to go back to the stage of the dwelling fires, of the actual building fires, that you say are
suspicious fires. There's going to be a large percentage of suspicious fires that you wouldn't get. And down arson. That's a pretty low percentage. I thought it was last fall.
Okay, we.
Chief, you've been doing this 34, 35 years?
33, 34 years.
What's the biggest change you've seen in 3 decades of doing this?
The biggest thing I've seen is the fire load has increased, the personnel has decreased. And I think that's, and the workload is probably doubled, maybe tripled for the guys on the job. When I came on the job, there was 1,850 firefighters. Now we have 1,280 firefighters, and we have somewhere around 20 fire companies less. So now, you double the fire load and divide it into that many less companies, and there you are.
Do you have has technology developed to the point where you now have equipment in 1990 that you didn't have in 1950 that makes up for the fact that you have fewer people?
So that's something to consider too. But technology doesn't really do us a lot of good in the fires that we fight. Now, if we were into, say, high-rises, New York, and things like that, yes, I would think technology would help a lot. But in our day-to-day fires, irregardless of what type of equipment they're using, they just go and do the job. They've always been doing the job. They've always done the job, and they're still continuing to do the job. Even though we resent the arson, and we resent the fire, there's hardly anything we can do about that. Fire prevention in this city is good. We have a good fire prevention department, but they're overloaded too. They're overloaded. They're overworked, overtime. They're probably understaffed. I'm not sure, but they're probably understaffed.
As a chief working under these conditions, how do you keep morale up? How do you?
It ain't easy. It is not easy. Most of the guys on this job want to be firemen, and that's a big plus. If they didn't, if it was just a paycheck, then the morale situation would be out of hand. These guys all like the job. They want to be firemen. They want to go out there and do a good job. And I think that helps maintain it. It isn't anything that I can do.
There seems to be a lot of pride in that this is the busiest engine company in the city. Not. Can we talk a little bit about that?
They know the job. They know they're doing a good job. I was captain here 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row, this was the busiest engine house in the city. They had 2,500 runs each year. I'm not even sure how many fires. What happens is you go home a lot of mornings. You go home very tired. You were up all night long. People out in the suburbs, they all go to bed. And that's when we wake up here. We get up and we're up the rest of the night. Sure, I'd like to be in a slower company. It's maybe some of these fellows would like to be in a slower company. But by the same token, a lot of them want the fire service. A lot of them want the experience. A lot of young guys. We bring a lot of young guys in here and train. Because this is a good training location. They go out of here not afraid of fires. Good fire. So that's helpful.
Let me ask you, in the movie Backdraft, there's talk about fire being really
It's a genuine menace. We respect fire. We respect it a lot. We have a lot of guys who are don't take fire very well. guys hold it. They go right in, find the fire, and extinguish the fire. And that's the way we train them, and that's the firefighters we turn out here. We've had several quite a few firefighters that have left the city here and gone to other suburbs. And our firefighters are in demand in other cities, in suburbs and so forth, because they know they have the experience and they have the training. And that comes from a lot of fires. That comes from having a lot of fires. If you only have like one fire a month or something like that, then I can understand you get a little nervous. But if you have 4 or 5 fires a day, you just take it for granted.
Think we're good?
Yeah.
I can go to bed.
Go to bed. Get some sleep.
You want to get a cut?
Well, I'm gonna wait
No.
6.
No.
6 o'clock. I'm get cleaned up a little bit, and then we start making our phone calls, and we start balancing the manpower for tomorrow. That's really my job, is to balance the manpower. In other words, level out the manpower in my battalion.
Yeah.
I've got 149 guys, but believe it or not, tomorrow I've only got 32 guys working.
That's all?
That's all I've got, 32 guys.
To cover 149 positions? I mean, do you have 149
No,
guys
there's
on it?
149 guys in this battalion,
Oh, okay.
assigned to this battalion. Okay, now
How many
half
work,
work,
half work?
half work even days, half work odd days. And then out of that is vacations, time off,
Yeah.
sick, injured, so forth and so on. So really, we're doing the job tomorrow. There's 9 companies, 9 fire companies with 32 guys.
How many guys are in this house tonight?
Tonight there is 3, 4, that's 7, and the chief is 9.
9.
8. There'll be 8
Eight?
fellows here. Yeah. We should be riding 4 and 4, which would be 8. That's what we should be running.
But you run 3 on the ladder and 4 on the engine.
You saw we just lost a guy.
Right, so now you're running 3 and 3?
So we may be running 3 and 3. I'm not really sure what we're running right now. We may be running 3 and 3, but the captain came back from downtown.
Okay, yeah.
He came back from downtown, so that was a problem. That was a push there. So we're probably 3 and 4. 4 on the engines, 3 on the truck. Now, if it was 4 and 4, I probably would take a driver.
Okay.
I have a driver tonight
Yeah.
for myself. But I can't have that. We just don't have the troops. It would be nice.
Well, go get some seats.
Pullman closes a couple more engine houses, we will have more guys. Girls and boys, the game's over.
Yeah. Not tonight.
Hey, Judy! What's your name?
How you doing?
All right, what's your name?
Ann Thomson.
Ann Thomson. You're a good reporter.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes.
Those what.
Yes, 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 yes.
Turn that thing off.
Right out the door. Right on the ground.
Oh, Mike, we eat together again, huh?
Yeah, gee. I hear I fed you pork chops all the time, thinking that was your favorite meal.
Well, I had that for lunch. We had stuffed pork chops for lunch.
Thanks, Art.
Here, Tim. Take a picture of this. Little small can, ain't it?
Hey.
No, this is the right size for a squad. I think it's Marty Merritt's old
They will.
was dressed on their house. So Woody was standing next to the side window, and Mike had the plate in the door.
It's Grimshaw.
Did Bill show you the ones that you? What? Triple A change you?
They made captain, left, and came back.
Hi, Ma.
That's what Billy.
Love you, baby.
I know.
Pork chops for lunch. Smitty gonna be mad. He said, I'm hungry and waiting for him. If he is.
12 years this month.
Daily, oh.
Whoa.
No, he had ladder 3.
You want to come back? Well, did you want to come back or did you want to pay his respects?
Oh, he's working right now. Oh, wow.
How many men do you have?
What battalion?
4 and 3. What battalion? First.
First? Any veteran. I'll make a call right here.
Okay.
Remember, I picked you up. I'm in charge.
Jen was on the truck. Right, we will come in.
Newman was there,
So
wasn't he?
tough on him. Alvin was new too.
Speezy was there. Roach came right after came right after Speezy went there. Speezy went to spot 6.
Worried about the cold.
Yeah. Yeah, that scared me too. I didn't want to get down there.
That's a hand-picked crew over there.
Kids taking house.
By Donald Pick Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's down there.
Well, he might be, huh? According to today's,
Maybe.
Yeah.
You get the B-man?
Yeah, Canada's kind of seen.
Yeah, a lot of places are like that. At least you reach over and grab them.
You want to turn them guys in.
But there's that soft
Going guy.
Those guys, I never saw them. They're not buildings. That's again, I don't wear them anymore, that's all.
Where you at today?
So, that was the.
At least it's an A-list, right? We could be here forever.
Right now, how's that?
No crime, just a script act. Okay.
I want to thank all you guys. You guys have been fabulous for the 2 years I've been here. Best crews I ever ran with. The whole battalion has been fabulous, so I want to thank the guys that did all the cooking today. Really a great job. You guys are the finest firefighters in the city here.
Yeah.
So,
You're the finest chief.
well, thank you. Cake and ice cream. Thanks, Ann and Bob, for coming this evening.
Cake and what?
Cake and what? I didn't want to mention all this stuff. But,
How about Billy Key?
you know me, I have a sweet tooth myself, so whatever turns you on, you know.
And we're all on cake.
I know what everybody would like, but let's have cake.
Right.
You want to know my wish? Wish I had 35 more to put in with you guys.
He's a bigger liar than
Sounds good, doesn't it? Well, I wasn't rolling brunky, you know, I didn't use rulers all my life.
Print that one.
How'd you find a cake that was on sale that said he'll
That's good, Mark. That's good.
Is that Dale from Sanders?
Underneath it says Happy Mother's Day.
Put a new layer of frosting on.
Put the cardboard on.
Put the cardboard up.
Okay, plates, let's go.
Ice cream. Get paper plates?
What are you gonna ask?
Nah, never. Now the real untold story of engine number 50, ladder 23.
What a raunchy bunch of guys I have here.
What's wrong with these guys?
I think they've led a very perverted life here. I really do. I can pick out certain individuals that are more perverted than the
Oh,
rest.
well, please do.
They know who I'm looking at.
Oh, come on, name names. Have some guts.
Oh, just point. All of them.
I don't think you left anyone out.
No, they've all been great guys. They've always done everything I've asked and done more. They've always bent over backwards to keep me happy, and I hope I've kept them happy during the
I'm
time
glad they
I was
didn't
here.
bend over forwards to keep you happy.
You're right, Dan. You're right. You know something I don't know. Crane and Brinkett. Well, we had some years there, about 12, that were fabulous. Yeah, Crane and Brinkett. Yeah, I hate to repeat those stories, though. No, you can't. They were wild. They were wild. Fought a lot of fires, so. Oh, I don't want to say anything to get anybody into trouble either, you know. The big four fires, yep. Yeah. I don't know who followed me to 36 after that. We had some years there that were great. But after all that time coming out here, all great firemen here. There isn't a bad one in the bunch. We've had a great time.
That's great. I think we're good.
That's a take, yeah.
That's a wrap. Print it.
I know it.